Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm in my 2008 R56 Mini Cooper S and I'm going to be doing a retrofit today. Something that this car desperately needs, and it's something that I have to install to pretty much all of my cars if possible. What is that? That is cruise control. So as you can see, this is the regular 3-spoke steering wheel without any cruise control or without any functions for the audio. So we've got to be basically retrofitting a different set of buttons, which are these here. As you can see, it has the controls for the cruise control and it also has the controls for the audio as well. But it isn't just a case of installing the buttons and away we go. So when it comes to the audio switches, they should work in theory if you have the correct steering angle sensor. The steering angle sensor is basically what the steering wheel sits on top of. It's also known as the steering switch, the squib, the SZL, whatever you want to call it. It's basically this thing right here. Now you may be thinking, why have I got a new one? That is because the one that is on the car is not for a multifunction steering wheel. Now you may be thinking, well, obviously because it doesn't have a multifunction steering wheel. Believe it or not, some cars came with a steering angle sensor for a multifunction steering wheel, but they just came with this style steering wheel. Unfortunately, mine has neither, so I did have to go ahead and purchase this, but it wasn't expensive, like £30 or so from eBay. Of course, you need to make sure you have the correct one, make sure it has the correct options for your car. Mine does not have a rain sensor, so it doesn't have automatic wipers. It also has DSC and it also has xenon lights as well. So again, you need to make sure you have the correct options for your part number, or should I say the correct part number for your options. But as always then, before we get into things, make sure you do give this video a like. It really does help me out. It shows your appreciation. And I guess without further ado, let's just get into things. So then, first things first, of course, we want to remove the steering wheel. To remove the steering wheel, we need to remove the airbag. Now, it is just held in by one clip. All you need to do is insert a screwdriver, one that is small enough to insert into a hole behind this trim piece here. Once you find that hole, you're going to want to push up, and then when you feel a spring, that's when you know you are at the correct angle. If you do not feel a spring, you're at the incorrect angle. Now, before I do pop this thing off, if you want to go ahead and disconnect your battery, of course you can do so. I'm not going to do so though. Airbags don't really explode from you just disconnecting them. They work off the crash sensors and a bunch of other things as well. But yeah, if you want to be on the cautious side of things, of course, disconnect the negative terminal and then proceed in removing the airbag. Once you have pushed up on that clip, then the airbag should release. And then you just need to disconnect it from the steering wheel itself. This video is sponsored by Gentle Bands. Now, for those of you who are unaware of Gentle Bands, they are a company that handcrafts decorative rings for men. Now, the reason that I love Gentle Bands is because they pay close attention to their craftsmanship and they use some of the Earth's finest materials. And right now, let's take a look at one of my favourite rings from Gentle Bands, the Radiance. So, first of all, we will take it out of its packaging. In here, we have a card which lets us know when it was crafted, its registration number and who it was crafted by. It's a nice touch. And here we can see it comes with lifetime warranty, it's easy to care, and it's year-long free resizing. And of course we have the ring itself. So the Radiance is a tungsten ring with an 18 karat gold plating. Now, as you may know, tungsten is one of the most durable materials in the world. It is a very dense material, very strong, and used in a lot of machining applications. Of course, the fact that this is plated in 18 karat gold really does make this thing pop. This really is a cool piece. And at the moment, Gentlebands are offering a free engraving service. More details of that will be down in the description box below. Gentlebands have also sent me out one of their chains. Now this is their black box chain. So we'll go ahead and pop this open. This is a nice addition too. So you can of course wear the chain around your neck so you're not getting it damaged. So as you can see right now then, I am wearing the chain and the ring. Definitely a nice addition here. Yeah, probably not something you want to get covered in oil when you are working on your car, for example. And for those wondering what the ring looks like when it's on, this is it. Quite a smart piece. Now, if you guys want to check out Gentlebands, there will be a link down in the description box below. Click that and check them out. You can also use discount code George25 where you'll save yourself 25% off all purchases. Once again, I want to thank Gentlebands for sponsoring the channel. Now let's get back to the video. So it's just held in by the main plug and then this small ground strap as well. But with the airbag off, we can put that to one side. And then to get the steering wheel removed, we just have to take off this bolt in the middle here. Should be a 15 or 16 mil. So it is a 16 mil, and because we have no switches on the steering wheel, should just be able to remove it now. There we are. And then to access the steering angle sensor itself, we just need to unclip the two cowl trim pieces. So I'm just going to use a plastic trim piece tool, pry them apart, and then we should be able to remove the SZL itself. Okay then, so this is where we're at. To make things easier, remove the two T30 bolts that hold this in place, so I can just leave it up. Then you should be able to then pry the top trim piece out, and then you should be able to access the two screws that hold the SZL in place. These actually screw to the lower trim, so unless you unbolt this, you won't be able to get the lower trim out of the way. So let's just get those two screws removed and we should be able to then get this up and off of the steering column. Okay, so I was trying to work out why this lower trim piece wasn't coming off. It's not going to come off unless you snap it. Basically, you have to pull down this trim piece that's in the dash and it will reveal two screws, one on either side. One torque screw there and then one on the other side. So get both those removed. This should then pop off and we then should have access to remove this. So steering angle sensors held in by a couple of clips. Found it's easier just to remove this clamp here, just held in by Torx 30 bolt. Get that out of the way and then you can pry off the clips then. You just need to pry them open essentially. This can then pull forward and we're just going to have to disconnect the electrical connectors then off the back. Just those two there. So it is out with the old and then in with the new. So as you can see, new steering angle sensor is in place, all clipped in. I've tightened down that clamp as well with that Torx bolt. Now we can get the cowl trim pieces reinstalled, both on the bottom, of course that's got to go on first, then the top one, and then the clocks that can go on as well. Just do those two bolts up and then we are ready for the steering wheel to go back on with the fresh new controls, of course. Okay, so new controls fitted to the original steering wheel. Very easy to do, literally just one screw, a Torx 20 screw holding it in place on both sides. Pop that out and obviously pop the original trim out and then install the wiring. You may have to route it either underneath this plate, or I just remove this plate just so it went in properly. That's held in by 4 Torx 25 bolts. Like I said, very easy stuff, can only go in one place. This can now go back onto the steering column, and again the steering wheel can only go on one place as well. There's a thicker piece on the spline, it can only line up in one place. So for example, I couldn't put it on that way, it just won't go on it. Like I said, it'll only go in the correct orientation. But now that that is in place, I can plug the steering wheel controls in, and I can get the bolt reinstalled and tighten that down. And with that now back on, of course, we can get the airbag plugged in and reinstalled. Should just be able to pop this in place. There we go, nice and easy. And with the steering wheel in place, that is the physical installation, the physical retrofit now done. Now we need to code the car so that everything works as it should. We're also going to have to reset the steering angle sensor as well, because of course we have completely replaced that. So then I guess first of all, before we do any kind of coding, we want to make sure we have a steady 12 volts. So just have the battery charger connected up. As you can see, we are reading 12.9 volts there. Yeah, it's one thing we don't want is the voltage to drop while doing any sort of coding, because there is a risk you can brick your modules. First thing is first then, we will do the steering angle sensor. Just get that reset before we coding the cruise control. Okay then, so let's get the steering angle sensor reset. So I'm just going to go to special functions, and it is going to be body, no, chassis, steering angle sensor adjustment, continue, continue, continue. Let's put the steering wheel dead ahead. That looks pretty good to me. Continue, continue, continue. Sorted, that's that done. And now we will do the coding of the cruise control. Retrofit, freedom retrofit, vehicle order change. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, and then it should be option 249. So okay. That is the multifunction for steering wheel. Wonder if there is one for cruise control specifically. Let's see if the BMW one, 540. Yes, there we go, cruise control. So cruise control is added, that's 540. And then the multifunction steering wheel, that is 249, so we'll add that on as well. We go next. Yes. Okay, okay, and that's those two options added to the vehicle order. And now we need to code the correct modules to accept it. And we need to code the cluster, which is the combi, and we need to code the SZL, and I'm pretty sure that should be it. Also going to do the DSC and the, I think that's it. I think I'm just going to do DSC, SZL and combi, but it should just be the combi and the SZL. So we'll do the combi first. We'll select yes. There we go, that's the combi reset. Recoding has been completed. Okay. Now we'll do the SZL. Yes. That's that done. So it's threw up the, I should have done the steering angle sensor reset after, so I'm going to have to do that again. But now we'll do the DSC and then we'll reset the steering angle sensor once more. Okay, so just took it for a little test drive. Everything works spot on. As you can see, steering wheel controls are all lit up. They work perfectly. That's all spot on. As you can see, cruise control is illuminated on the dash as well. That means the cruise control is working. As you can see, turn it back on, and yeah, up and down, everything works as it should, perfectly, as if this came like this from the factory. Well then, there we go, another job done on the R56 Mini Cooper S. If you haven't done this yourself, do it. It's a cheap, easy, quick upgrade that you can do. This took me about, I don't know, an hour start to finish to do. Like I said, you may not even have to replace the steering angle sensor. If you already have a multifunction steering wheel one, then you're probably not going to even have to replace it. You'll just have to replace the steering wheel buttons. They're not expensive either. You know, you can get them on eBay for around 30 or 40 pounds. So yeah, a nice, cheap, quick little thing you can do to upgrade your car. In my opinion, in 2023, 2024, you know, you need to have cruise control in your car. It makes a car feel very outdated if it doesn't have cruise control, in my opinion. And it's much needed, especially if you're doing regular motorway journeys. So yeah, hopefully this video has been helpful. Hopefully it's been easy enough to follow along. Oh, if you want to get the scanner that I've used, it's the top-down scanner. I've used it for a bunch of cars now. A link for that will be in the description box below as well. It's not a sponsored video or anything, by the way, but yeah, very, very good scan tool that is. And yeah, I haven't found something that it can't do, which I need it to do. So yeah, it's a very decent bit of kit. But yeah, like I said, I want to thank you all for watching, and please give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you all in that next one.